Hi folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. You know, I spent over 2 hours on the phone yesterday with the head of our region's DEC fisheries for our region, and I really learned a lot. One of the things I wanted to pass on from that conversation was the concern so many people have about the DEC's decision to disconnect walleye stocking in our area. And I talked with Jana a long time, and she really gave me information that helps me better understand. And I wanted to pass it on to you. Number one, ever since the 80s, there had been organizations in both Messina and Ogdensburg. Actually, it all began in Ogdensburg with volunteers that are put together to help a stocking program of walleyes for our region. And they reared these fish. They incubated the eggs that they collected, and they raised them in little self areas that they had created. Some of the most dedicated volunteers in the fisheries world that I've ever seen. And the same thing took place later in Messina, which I was involved with even more intimately, headed by the president, Mike Gagne. And what the DEC discovered in their nettings, this is what they've been doing, trying to find out whether this population is stable and whether it will continue to go forth in the degree that it has in the past. And they found that in netting, they were able to year class the walleyes that they took. They were able to know what year class they came from. And surprisingly, in a couple years of netting, they found that the peak year class of the walleyes taken were from a year when there had been no stocking. And so they have come to feel that enhancing natural reproduction is more important than stocking more walleyes in our area. And how are they planning to do this? It's in habitat enhancement is the terminology they're using. In other words, finding those areas, those shoals that the walleyes spawn on, and enhancing that habitat that will encourage them more so to spawn in that area. And they felt that this is a direction that can really help our area more than any other. And so it's not that they don't want to stock. They feel that stocking has not been as effective as the natural reproduction of walleyes in our area of the St. Lawrence River. And they have a lot of new ideas to pursue in enhancing this whole program. So I wanted to pass that on to people who are wondering. You know, I have a lot of faith in the DEC, and I'm really blessed to have this relationship where we can talk out matters and so forth, because the DEC is so vital to our fisheries in this state. And this is something that they were very concerned that people understand why there's been a cessation of walleye stocking right now. Walleye season is just around the corner, and I'll tell you, it's an exciting time for people in our area with our wonderful walleye populations that we have. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report.